Hey there, it's Mike Rains here with First Team Real Estate in Huntington Beach, California. Hey, a little bit of a public service announcement on some fraud that's been happening that you need to be aware of, especially if you're buying a house. I had a client that had a property for sale, and the buyer listened to nobody when it came to being on the lookout for this kind of fraud that comes across. And typically, what happens is that somebody that's nefarious has been downloaded some kind of malware, and they've been tracking your computer, and they end up picking up words, find out that you're an escrow, and next thing you know, they want to GoDaddy to set up an account in the name of the lender as well as the escrow company and title and whoever else might be involved. And what they do is they start setting you up with like, hey, don't forget, when it comes time to wiring the money, we're going to send you the instructions. And usually what happens is at the very last minute, when it comes time to putting that big down payment in, they will send you an email with wiring instructions that aren't the real escrow that you're in. And I've had it happen, and it's unfortunate, but sometimes when people fall for stuff like that, despite having the fraud wire addendums and all the things that we warn buyers and sellers about, people still fall for the oldest tricks in the book. So just be on the lookout for things like that, emails that you don't recognize. And even if you do recognize it, it's always best to pick up the phone and call the known entity, like the escrow officer that you've been dealing with, that you went to see and all of that stuff, and just say, hey, I got this email, is this from you? And the other thing to really be aware of is that escrow companies, when you send your deposit money in, you're typically sending it by wire. They never, ever, never, ever, never, ever, they never change that information. So that's not how they operate. And so when you get an email or a call or something, text that says, oh, we had an emergency and we changed our wiring instructions for you, don't fall for that stuff, because they're just setting you up to send that money. In the case where my client's buyer had that happen to them, the FBI had to get involved, and luckily they got 95% of that money back, but it was like over $300,000. So it was a huge mistake, and they wired it to the wrong account, and it was about to go out of the United States before the FBI caught it. That's not usually what happens. Usually you lose the $300,000. So in their case, they were able to get that back. So don't fall for those kinds of things. And it's best not to click on links that you don't recognize, or people that are reaching out that you're not expecting a call. Just good habits to have. All right. So take care of that. And when it comes to real estate, trust your professionals. Always pick up and do the redundant call. Like, hey, I got this email. I just want to re-verify the numbers. Don't call the people back that are calling you. Call your trusted professionals. Have a good one.